recording. This is the first episode of Live Listen Erased. So basically, Brian, the rules of this game is kind of simple.
Enlighten me.
Basically, it's a live listen and erased. It's very similar to the game Marry, Fuck, and Kill. And
Sounds violent.
it's definitely violent. That
Yeah,
one.
you get cancelled pretty quickly.
Yeah, we're going to get 2 episodes in. That's about it.
If you're generous.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Now we're cancelled. See you later.
Yeah, it was good while it lasted.
It was fantastic.
You get a refund on this microphone.
Yeah, but I want the sponsors to pay us out outright.
Sponsors.
Exactly. Live listen repeat works the same as murder, marry, and fuck, and the same way that this is with music instead of people. Basically, the live aspect is you get to see a band perform live once and once only, and never listen to their music.
I can see a band that you put to me live once.
That's correct.
Once in my life.
Once in your life.
For the rest of my days. Once. I can see them once.
Yep. Once.
But I can never listen to them again.
Never listen to them again.
Never listen to their music on Spotify or anything.
Nothing.
Not a YouTube video.
Nothing.
Not a YouTube video. What about a video I took when I was at the concert?
Videos are illegal at concerts.
Well, I mean, they're not illegal. They're damn right stupid, and people should stop doing it.
I know. That's why they did that at the Tool concert. And I applaud them for that one. But
You've got to then watch the music. But that's another topic.
yes.
So okay. Well, what if you tell me a band who's no longer around, or its members have died, or it's it's a classic band?
Okay. So any old band, past members who have passed away, it doesn't matter.
I
It's
can
pure
I can
hypothetical.
revive the dead.
You
for
can
this
revive. You are the hand of God. You have
I
the
am the
power.
hand of God.
You are the hand of God. You are Maradona in this aspect.
Yeah, in many respects. Off the field.
They'll line up for you. Okay, but you can choose the band. Obviously, sorry, you don't choose the band. I choose the band. But the band you will listen to, if dead members or not,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter. They will be performing as their lineup in that aspect.
Yeah. Well, which aspect?
In the aspect of, for example,
They're classic. Well, can you stipulate one?
it depends on the questions that are put forward, I guess. So
Alright, let's see where that goes.
exactly.
So,
the listen part of it will be another area as well. So listen in this regards is you choose. That's going to be in the recording, and I love that. The
We'll
listen,
edit it out.
exactly. The listen part is you hear this band live. Sorry, you hear this band every day.
Right.
This
Well, I go, well, okay. So we've moved on from live, and we're talking about studio now.
we're talking about studio purely.
This
on
is the listen
band.
aspect.
That's correct. The
Yeah.
listen aspect is you will hear this band before. You will hear this band's album once a day.
Cool.
All right.
So I imagine that would be pretty. If you're a fan of Beethoven, and you chose to listen to it, the listen option rather than live option.
Correct. Okay.
Another choice is Rachmaninoff.
Sure.
I've got to choose that terrible, horrible, heartbreaking decision of which one that I listen to every day.
Yep. And then the other one could be Bach. You don't know. Which one are you going to
Well,
go
I mean,
with?
that's going to chuck a spanner in the works.
I know it was more
Well, hang on. Well, what's the drawback of picking
the
the
last
recording? What if they come out to? What if they come and play live? Can I see them?
Not at all.
Oh shit!
You can never listen to. You can never watch them live.
I can never see Beethoven again.
You can never see Beethoven again.
Well, we've got to. Not only have I just resurrected Beethoven, now I've got to fucking kill the guy.
Exactly.
Sorry,
We'll
Beethoven.
get the axe out.
Roll over.
The last one, of course, is erased. So, whichever is the last aspect of your band, of the band that you choose, you get to. They're gone. That's it. They're off the face of the planet. Never exist.
That sounds like it could be a relief or it could be a curse.
Both. But it's up to you.
Yeah,
Or
right.
it's up to the person who comes with these lists, I guess.
So it's live.
Live,
listen,
erase.
Erase. So you're erasing one band from for live and listening for the rest of your days.
Correct.
You're erasing a live act that you can listen to we have to listen to every day for
Correct.
the rest of your life.
Yep.
And then you're seeing a band once live, and that's it.
And
Basically, that's the end of them for you.
That's correct.
This could be difficult.
That is
correct. It could be actually a relief. So I guess we'll see what
depends
the
on
list is.
depends on the choices, I guess.
And so you're going to ask me, well, what are you going to do next? How do we segue into the game?
I think first we should introduce. They're the rules of the game, but I think first we should introduce ourselves to the listeners.
Yes.
So
I'm Dawes.
Dawes, it is.
Dawes
What type of genres would you say?
As you can tell from my exquisite classical background, I have quite an esteemed taste in music. Quite mostly everything. I like most things that sound good. They're pretty much made after 1963.
Okay.
But I do have some preferences. But again, I don't want to seal myself off because that might be throwing the game.
No, that's true. That's very true.
And of course, Chile would obviously know in 25 years, knowing me, what I might be inclined to like and dislike.
Yes. Yeah, the amount of music.
Dramatic irony.
Yeah, the amount of music that Dawes has got me into, and it puts me at a bit of a disadvantage. But
vice versa, though.
Exactly.
Don't sell yourself short, Chile.
No, but I guess the areas that I've gone into afterwards would be different. I'm into, I guess, similar like you. I like everything post 1963.
You do have an eclectic taste in music, Chile. That's why make it very fun for whoever's on the other side of the table with you, drinking some beers,
exactly,
or drinking some the blood of a bat, or something.
Yes,
well,
enjoying your bat soup and
speaking
stuff
of,
like that.
Let's get this VB opened. Hermetically sealed.
Perfect.
All right.
So yes, Ryan.
Cheers, Chili. What have you got for me? What am I going to hear live? Who am I going to hear live? Who am I going to potentially resurrect from the dead? Potentially not. Who am I going to listen to? And who am I going to erase?
Okay, the very first choice that I have for you, Dawes. These three. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm not ready, but I guess I don't have a choice.
Thank you.
I'm very far from home.
You stressed out yet?
Yes.
The first one I have for you, White Stripes, Elephant.
Oh.
Arctic Monkeys, Favorite Worst Nightmare.
That's their second album.
It is the second
That's the Arctic Monkeys' second album.
It is.
We're up to the 23rd now, I think. Quite an impressive output.
And the last one I have on my list, The Strokes, Is This It? The first album.
Wow. Okay. So that's the first album. So how does that work with how does that work with seeing live? They're playing the whole album from start to finish.
Yes.
Right. What about? Can I hear the rest of their discography? No, is it kill the band? For example, if I were to see them live, I think it would kill the band.
Yeah, essentially, if you've seen
That's
them
what you
live, you've seen anything pre that album and that album, of course.
Yes. Okay. So
they might throw.
Well, it could be their entire. Well, it would be their entire catalog. If we're doing things like bending life and death, then we'd probably be bending the space-time continuum to make their whole entire catalog accessible, which I'm pretty sure is what you mentioned to me when you were explaining to my dense brain how this game actually works. So I've got the Strokes, I've got the White Stripes, and I've got the Arctic Monkeys.
The Arctic Monkeys.
Well, that's a pretty good mix, and I can tell you right now the Strokes are getting erased. Because I as much as
strike them from the list.
I strike them from the record. No, I don't. No disrespect to the Strokes. I think they did some pretty cool things on Is This It? And there's some pretty cool things off their second album, which is Room on Fire. There's some cool songs on that. I enjoyed it to a degree when I was 18. But the Is This It seems a bit derivative. It's a lot of Iggy Pop, Velvet Underground.
It is a fairly polished Iggy Pop.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
it's good, but it's very.
It's really catchy.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
And now that you've mentioned it, I want to listen to it really badly. They're Under Controls. That's of the second album. So that would be amazing to see live, wouldn't it? Yeah. I mean, Last Night would be such a cool song to see live. I've never seen the Strokes live, of course. They've got some very, very terrible songs. Most of their albums are filler. I think they're a bit of a singles band.
Yes.
But I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. There are many good singles bands, I think. It's only the dedicated who sit and listen to albums, and those who have no lives, such as me, and potentially Chili. But he will speak for himself.
I'll agree.
I'm going to have to erase the Strokes. Let's make this decision. With some hints of regret, because there are always those times on a commute in the morning I want to listen to a bit of the Strokes. We're going to erase the Strokes, Chili. Are you right with that?
Yes,
I'm cancelling the Strokes. I'm deleting the Strokes. Well, that leaves
live and listen.
We have live and listen. We have this is now we're getting into some fucking really dangerous territory, actually, because these are some pretty decent. Well, actually, you know what? I fucking love the White Stripes.
Of course you do.
I bought the Style on vinyl 4 weeks ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, and it sounds fucking awesome, dude.
Man.
Everything about Jack White just exudes like just authenticity.
The guy screams something.
He
passion
screams.
On guitar. That's
he
for
does.
Sure.
He does, and the way and he's such a purist that he insists on using old school analog recording techniques, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And the way he learns as well. I mean, he's a bit of an underestimated guitarist.
Oh, he's a massively underestimated.
I was
guitarist.
watching him actually in a YouTube video, and he was with Jimmy Page, and The Edge, and these are big guitarists.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this. What happens?
Probably
I
have.
can't remember.
Jimmy Page was just talking about one of the songs that he did with Zeppelin, and he starts to play it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, this is how I came up with the riff or whatever," and I'm just like, "Oh, that's so cool." Jimmy Page, fucking, he's amazing. Anyway, and then Jack White just said, "Oh yeah, okay. Can you play that again?" And next second, he's playing it. He goes, "Oh, I haven't played this in years, or he's never played this," and he just looks at him for 10 seconds and goes, "I got it," and plays it. And it's funny because The Edge, who's obviously a pretty big name in the world, just sitting there like the back street.
All around nice guy.
He
doesn't pull things with the effects, but that might be a conversation for another time.
Exactly.
But
he was sitting there as a backseat
guitarist, right?
Yeah, he was a backseat passenger this whole time. Jack White just is an amazing guitarist.
He really is. He's fantastic, and not only that, his style. I mean, he's intrinsically switched or plugged into and switched on when it comes to old blues shit. We're talking. I mean, Eric Clapton was kind of good like that, and you got the '60s guys. John Lennon was amazing at it.
He was very good.
I mean, Jack White.
When he was in high school, that's what his influences were. Mostly old school blues guitarists.
Well, he's exactly right. His older brother, Jack White's older brother. He gave him, I think, a guitar, or at least he turned him on to some really old school blues stuff. Robert Johnson. And some other like Lead Belly. I mean, these are some incredible guitarists, and alternative tunings too. So with this and a slide, all together you've got Jag and you've got Meg, and that's it.
That's correct. It's very. I mean, look, it's very basic, I guess.
But is it?
It's very basic, but at the same time, his power on the guitar is almost like two other musicians.
It's sonic,
and it's amazing.
You throw in his amazing use of effects pedals, and it's just something else entirely. And also their aesthetic.
Yes.
But
then what about Arcade Fire?
Well, we used to Arctic Monkeys.
Sorry, I did. I said Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, well, to a flying start, actually. No, enough about the White Stripes. But Arctic Monkeys, and here we go. We came of age, Chile, when the Arctic Monkeys' first album, which is whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not.
Exactly.
Was released, and that album came out in 2006, as I understand it.
Correct.
It
was also a new method. It was the fastest selling album in Britain.
Debut album,
sorry.
Yeah, after
and they released it on MySpace, mostly.
Ah, right.
They did promotion online.
You had to pay for it back then.
No. It was promoted through MySpace Music.
Right.
And it was like one of the first bands.
You're really going back a long time, actually.
And we mentioned MySpace.
Yeah.
But that was like exactly picking your top 5 friends there.
Yeah.
But that's how they got their band name out there.
So they're kind of the first sort of viral, well, not the first, but the pioneers in social media.
They definitely led a kind of cusp, if you will. That's
so sort of they built a cult following online, which is pretty rad. Radiohead did that, but so I mean, the first album came out. It was about going out when you, as a young white bloke in society.
Yep.
And coming of age on the cans, on the beers,
running away from cops and getting in fights with the missus.
That's right. Having an unfortunate encounter with a bloke trying to pick up a prosy. What about being able to unlock your Nokia 3310? It's after 3 a.m. and you got writer's block. It's absolutely amazing. The riffs are incredible. The guitar work is amazing. The musicianship is incredible.
Yeah.
These are some blokes who are barely
they were
probably in their teens. They would have been 18.
Yeah.
I think in fact the Alex Hammond, who's the lead singer, and probably his bandmates, they're probably only a few years older than us at most.
I think so.
Which is sad because well, I don't want to speak to you, Julie, but I've accomplished nowhere near anything great, let alone that.
Oh, let's not compare ourselves to gods, all right?
Yeah, fair. And then I mean, they were often, well, obviously that we resonated with us when we were doing. Basically, we were living out the stories and everything you hear in the songs.
Of course.
And so it was immediately
you can
relatable.
relate to it. Yeah.
Immediately relatable. Probably in a similar way that definitely maybe was relatable from Oasis, but at the time. But also at the same time, it was just such powerful, cool music, smart music, fresh music.
Well, we're talking about the second album here.
Yeah, I don't like this, but in saying that, I'm going to consider.
The first album is incredible.
We are the second album. I wasn't a big fan of it. I mean, I liked Fluorescent Adolescent. Yeah, but then they came. Then there was it was either Humbug or
that was the next one,
or yeah, I think potentially. But you kind of skip ahead to AM when it came out in about 7 or 8 years ago. And it was absolutely incredible.
Was that the one that was edited with Josh?
Yeah, Josh Homme makes it.
He was the producer on it.
His influence is everywhere.
Oh, it's everywhere on that album, and it is incredible. Album.
Yeah, it is an absolutely amazing album. AM. But then they played "Come Together" by the Beatles at the opening ceremony, the Olympics, and that was just stratospheric. So I have to make a decision.
So, White Stripes Elephant.
Well, I should say that my brother has been and seen Jack White, and he has a permanent hearing damage as a result. So perhaps that will influence my decision. Probably not, but it might. I'll take it on notice. Regrettably, I'm gonna have to keep. I've got the record. What I'm gonna do with it? I'm gonna have to listen to White Stripes. Regrettably, not see you ever, Jack. I feel bad about that.
Wow.
Or Meg, of course. And I'm going to have to see, because it would probably be the best night of my life, the Arctic Monkeys.
Very true.
With much regret.
I had you pegged for the other way. I thought
what do you think I was going to say?
I thought you would say White Stripes live.
Right. Well, I mean, that would also be incredible. But I just don't know. I often turn back to their. I'd be more willing to jump into a White Stripes listening sesh than I would be Arctic Monkeys. I just think that it's a splitting hairs exercise, mate. But I definitely would have to go White Stripes.
Exactly.
Well, that was difficult.
That was a difficult one.
That was a great one.
The decisions, I guess, that I would come to.
Yeah, what would you pick, Chili? Yeah.
I would agree. The Strokes have been stroked out on that regard. Great.
They've been stroked.
They've been stroked.
They've had a stroke.
They've had a stroke. They're down and out for the count.
Sorry, Julie.
I'm sorry. The first album is great.
It's pretty good, but it's kind of lacking. It kind of
lacks. It's just too polished.
It is, and I think there's that lack of authenticity. Well, no disrespect, but I don't find it as authentic.
I can't relate to the New York lifestyle that they have.
I
can more relate to the English lifestyle.
Yeah, I think there's less sincerity to it.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, look, great album overall.
Yeah.
But yes, Strokes erased.
Yeah.
And I would say White Stripes live, and then Arctic Monkeys.
Okay. Well, I mean, I respect that decision.
Actually, a fun thing about the album cover for the Strokes, obviously the international version, everyone knows the woman smacking her ass.
Yes.
Very famous cover.
Yes.
So I was looking that up actually today, and I was wondering about the model. You know, can I find this model?
Still, after all these years.
Well, after all these years, you'd be surprised some of the models you can find from album covers. And
right.
No luck.
Well, this is going to be an interesting game.
No luck, but it came up with the photographer, so I quickly Googled it. The photographer's name is Colin Lane. Lives in New York, obviously, New York band. But the Google search came back with Colin Lane, who was the comedy duo Lano and Woodley. For a moment, I'm sitting there thinking, hang on, wait.
Was it the same person?
Imagine. No, it wasn't.
No.
But,
well.
But yeah, I was just thinking, I was like, wait, what? No, he can't be the photographer.
No, well, I mean, that would have been a pretty small degree.
Apparently, the photo was taken by the photographer when his girlfriend at the time got out of the shower, and it was a spur of the moment thing.
Why was she wearing gloves in the shower?
I don't know, photographers, man.
Yeah, fair point. No, and also another Another fun fact about that album was it was released as was Interpol's Terminal Bright Lights, similar New York bands coming at the time, impacted by September 11.
Correct, because they had New York City cops, events, which had to be taken off the record.
Exactly. Was subsequently put back on, I think, international versions and subsequent reissues of the US version.
Great song though, but I mean, I can see why they took it off.
Yeah, it not tasteful.
No,
and I mean, it deeply impacted New York.
There's a lot of things that were affected.
It was a great time for music. I mean, in fact, the bands that we're talking about here, Chili's pretty much astutely picked these bands. They came out. This is that new era of that guitar garage sort of music in the the turn of the millennium.
Yeah.
And some great bands came out. Some great albums came out. Well, Is This It being one of them? Let's be honest.
Pretty much these artists were kind of like the Kiss for our generation that inspired a bunch of other guitarists. No, what I mean is like Kiss inspired people to pick up a guitar and play it in the band. Back in the 70s, I'm saying.
Yeah, there are probably others who are slightly more inspirational, but that's okay.
I don't disagree.
You've encouraged
I
dudes everywhere to do horrible gestures with their tongues.
Or copyright the letters OJ and say, I came up with that, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, well, I beg to differ. I've said that before, right? Anyway.
So, Ryan, what is the list that you have prepared?
Well, Chili, look, it's going to put you in a world of pain, I think.
Oh, I am.
So,
Chili,
Chili,
I'm looking forward to this one.
I'm not going to pick any albums here because I've misapprehended the nature of the game because I'm an idiot. But also, if you know Chili's music taste, he's going to really struggle with this. So, without further ado, you're going to listen live. That's what you're going to do. You're going to see them live. You're going to resurrect them potentially. Ooh. Are you going to listen, or are you going to cancel Motorhead, Red Hot Chili Peppers, or Metallica? Good luck to you, sir. Good luck to you. Yeah, I thought that might put you in a world of pain. Not that was intended.
Oh, jeez.
Who are we going for?
Oh, that is
Metallica.
That
are you
is
going to cancel
such
Metallica? I don't know if you can do that. Can you cancel Red Hot Chili Peppers, or can you cancel Motorhead?
Red Hot Chili Peppers, the band that gave me the meaning of my own name.
You are the Red Hot Chili fucking Peppers.
I mean, I got a tattoo of a chili on myself, so.
Oh, well, I mean, you'd be cancelling yourself, man. And let's be honest, man, Red Hot Chili Peppers is sick.
They are amazing.
Yeah.
It also comes down to...
You've seen them live, though, haven't you?
I have seen them live twice, actually.
Twice?
So...
I didn't know you've seen them twice.
Yeah, well, first time was with you.
The first time was with you. Yeah, what about the second time?
The second time actually was with Parliament.
No, what the...
Yes. I saw them with Parliament.
When?
George Clinton takes the stage with fucking 20 band members.
I know, but...
I was supposed to sit next to Ian Thorpe. He was supposed to have tickets.
This is just getting insane.
This is another story.
When did that happen?
So, my brother got some tickets through his work.
When did this happen?
Oh, shit.
Was this when Klinghoffer replaced for Shani?
Yes. Klinghoffer was still with the band.
Yeah, this
is probably about 2
years.
Yes.
Whose name currently escapes me.
Gateway.
You're a Chili Peppers fan.
I know, but... I like the album, but it wasn't.
It's a very sustained career. I mean, to keep abreast of a 40-year career gets a bit challenging.
1983 was when they started, so
but we know John Frusciante's back now.
He is. He took over.
So you've managed to procure some tickets from your eminently talented brother.
Yes,
talented for getting tickets, no doubt.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, he's supposed to be sitting next to Ian Thorpe." Wait, what? Okay, that's even cooler.
Your brother was supposed to be sitting there.
Yeah, he was supposed to be there as well, and Ian Thorpe was supposed to be there. So,
cool.
The Getaway was the album.
The Getaway. Yeah, cool. Ian Thorpe, one of the greatest Australian Olympians of all time.
He did a no-show, unfortunately.
Well, he's a pretty busy guy.
Yes,
but can he be too busy for Parliament and Red Hot Chili Peppers?
And Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, to be honest, when I got the tickets, and I'm like, Parliament, I think I know some of their songs. Yeah. Actually, I did. I knew Maggot Brain.
Yeah, okay.
Which, if you listen to the guitar work, it's probably one of the most insane guitar solos ever.
Well, Funkadelic are insane.
It's
like they're legends in the music industry.
I mean, they've been around for like 70 years.
It's fair to say that without Parliament and Funkadelic, or George Clinton, you wouldn't have the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Would you? Of course you would.
Well, that's the thing. Flea took the stage, and he goes, "It's amazing to be sharing a stage with Parliament because George Clinton was my biggest influence."
I was waiting for you to say that. Yeah, because I knew that Flea would have been like just like waiting. all of them would have been wetting
It was a
themselves.
wet dream for him.
That's amazing.
Like I had 3 months to prepare. I just prepared like this quick
Yeah.
list. I was listening to it on repeat, and I'm like,
Oh, so
these
you're
guys
listening.
are-
Whoa. Is this an indication to where you're going? Is it a Freudian slip?
no Freudian slip. No, there's no butterfly in that image. But no, it's Rorschach. Sorry. I'm surprised I knew that.
Yes, I
So I listened to it and I'm like, damn, these guys are fucking amazing. Atomic Dog. I mean, you're listening to that and you go, oh, that's the sample for Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
oh my god.
I mean, the G-Funk era is
Yeah.
just like, it's embedded in Parliament and Funkadelic's music.
Yeah.
In
And it's so
amazing
weird,
style.
like they had both bands almost playing at once.
Oh,
you know,
that's
and-
incredible.
but it was
It's
like this
musical
weird-
jamboree.
Yeah, it was this weird thing. Here is George Clinton, who is an enigma himself. You know, like this 70-plus-year-old man with dreadlocks down to his ass and a pink.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
like weird guy.
Yeah,
And there's like 20 other band members on the stage.
Legendary
I couldn't
figure.
even think about it.
Yeah,
It was a great concert compared to the last concert we went to, which was for Stadium Arcadium.
Yeah,
Tour,
that
which
was
a
a
letdown.
it was a bit of a letdown. I mean, it didn't help that the opening act, who we were all,
I'm
the
glad I forgot
audience, there was Harmar Superstar.
Oh fuck! Why'd you remind me?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I think it was probably a bit. It was incumbent on the audience to be more respectful. I do agree with Flea. So Flea was pretty pissed,
Yeah, he was.
wasn't he?
He
It was a
was.
stadium full of what, 12,000, 15,000 people potentially,
Yeah.
and for the first
You're
time, the
trying-
Chili Peppers
yeah.
had toured
You're
since By the Way.
you're trying to win over a crowd that that doesn't want to see you, and I can understand
Yeah.
that that's a very big hill to climb.
Yeah, and I mean, and the act itself. I mean, I think that he probably Harmar Superstar would have had a good following among smaller pockets of
Yeah.
you know, in New York potentially, and
Yeah.
places in America that are trendy.
Yeah, those
You got a
type of
stadium
areas.
full of Chili Peppers fans who haven't seen the Peppers in like what, nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm eager to see
They're
them.
frothing
and-
in the mouth.
yeah, but I mean, in saying that though, it would have
It
been.
was a
We should. We also have kept more of an open mind. I mean, I don't want to square any blame for booing Harmar Superstar, but I mean, there were certainly people who were.
Yeah.
And it's needless to say that it pissed the Chili Peppers off.
I can see the actions that they tried to take with them, but look, I digress. At the end of the day, they probably did try a little bit too hard, but
Well, who the
Harmar
opening?
Superstar,
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, the stadium was too big for what they should have been doing.
Yeah,
They
I
should
think
be like
that's
some
right.
art project in New York doing for
Well,
300.
I don't want to. I mean, or maybe a bit down, maybe a bit further into the city. You go to the Metro, or you go even Horden. You know, a smaller venue.
Yeah, smaller venues.
Yeah, you go to stadium basically to hear an album called Stadium Arcadium from one of the the biggest, hugest, massivest bands on the planet. It's a bit of an acid and oil situation.
Yeah.
But incidentally, Shirley, Harmar Superstar is still, I think, making music.
I think so. I think I checked them up once or twice.
He's come up on my suggestions or something potentially at some point. I mean, and I do feel a sense of regret about that. So
guess.
yeah, but so you've seen the Chili Peppers
So we've
twice
seen
with
the
Parliament.
Chili Peppers.
With
Parliament on one of them, and that was an
So
incredible.
I mean, that information might be probative. But the next, but we've got Motorhead though.
Motorhead. Oh my gosh.
Good
So
God, where do we start?
the god himself. I mean,
He's. I don't need to resurrect him because let's be honest, the guy's still alive.
the guy is alive, and he will always be
He's
alive.
immortal.
Man,
Lemmy.
you can never go past Lemmy.
And Ian Lemmy Kilmister.
I mean, far out. The guy got kicked out of a drug band for taking too many drugs.
Because he was too talented, they were jealous of him.
He was a guitar tech for Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, he
back in
scored
the
acid
day.
for Jimi
Scored
Hendrix.
acid for him.
In return,
And he tried to teach. Sorry, yes.
in return, Hendrix gave him a couple of tabs.
Yeah, he
And-
said he was a pretty good bloke about it.
He was a sick bloke about it.
I mean, Hendrix himself would be a sick guy.
Well,
he did
was a bit
try to
violent.
teach bass to what's the guy from the Sex Pistols?
Yeah, Sid Vicious.
Sid Vicious. But I mean,
Yeah,
look,
he-
there's no teaching a
They
dead
did end up
horse
turning
how
that
to-
amp off.
Yeah, well, that's right. You know, too much heroin, and that's what Lemmy always said: never do heroin. So
Well, then in that case, I mean, no, not at all. But no, but I mean, Lemmy is just really difficult to introduce. I think we can. I think we're capable.
if
of
you're not familiar at all with Motorhead, you really do need to go out and listen to the first
3 albums.
3 albums.
Yeah, that's where we started humbly.
Yes.
When we were, what, 15?
The
Thanks to
only
my
way-
prolific ordering of
Yeah.
exotic seats.
Back before the old
compact discs.
Yes, back before we
From
could really
HMV.
listen to them on on the
Well,
web.
there was no streaming, and like that was when they taken steps to shut down all file sharing services.
Yeah.
So we're really at a loss.
You had 10-second snippets for every song.
Yeah, or allmusic.com or
Yeah.
CD Universe.
You pretty much go down. I remember going to JB Hi-Fi picking so many albums. Going, that album cover looks good. $10, I'll buy it.
Well, that's a good way to pick an album, as actually John Frusciante notes in the Greatest Hits Chili Peppers 2002 album line notes. Pick an album that you like the cover for. But I mean the cover. Overkill is tasty. That's a fucking sweet album cover.
I mean,
that's why actually, in fact, that's why it's the first Motorhead album that I bought. And do I regret it? Fuck no.
No.
It was amazing. I remember.
Iconic
Man, that was one of those times when I went to HMV and bought that fucking album. I had waited patiently. We both waited patiently for 8 weeks until I got it from the UK, and there it was. And were we disappointed, Julie? What did it do for you? What did it do for you?
Overkill was a game changer.
It's like the complete opposite of its namesake. It's not Overkill at all. It's Underkill.
Yes.
Underlife.
Yes. Overkill completely changed me forever from that point.
Christ, how old were you when you heard it? About 16, 2005, I think it would have been.
Yeah.
That's when
I just remember looking at this cover and going, what the fuck is this?
Mm.
You know, and like...
It's quite an intense
It is, yeah. I mean, here's this exploding looking skull thing.
Yeah.
And I remember playing it, and the first thing you hear, the only way to feel the noise is have it up real loud, so loud you can't believe it, screaming with the crowd.
Yeah, and that bloody double kick drum.
Oh.
And the filthy animal tail on the drums.
Exactly. And then the bass that's so fucking loud and distorted. You think it's another guitar, but it is still a bass. And
It's incredible. I mean, and I don't want to go into this rabbit hole because we could be here all night.
Yes.
But then we then got Motorhead's first album was on Parole, in fact, the first EP.
Their first album on Parole, yeah, correct.
And it's got White Line Fever on it.
It had a few tracks which he recorded as well with Hawkwind,
cool.
such as On Parole.
Yeah, nice.
And Vibrator.
Nice.
I think which used a bass line
Yeah.
from one of his other tracks,
Yeah.
like The Watcher as well.
Yeah, nice.
Good tracks, but compared to the rest of his catalogue, it's very different. And I remember reading in the linear notes.
Line notes.
Line notes, linear. What am I saying?
Linear. Oh, well,
Linear.
you're always going
I'm reading,
forward, Julie.
Exactly. I'm reading the book, and it said you can understand how different the band is here, but you can understand the direction.
Of course. I mean, it's kind of that. It's kind of that mid. Yeah, that no man's land between Hawkwind, which was a psychedelic band, really.
Yeah.
And Motorhead, which was just a bit more of a punk. Well, it was a punk band. It was a pop band.
Yeah. Here was a psychedelic band where Lemmy was just playing the loudest bass he could.
Yeah.
And then
found some talented musicians.
He goes to some punk kind of influences.
Yeah. And it's insane. And to sum it up, he's got a really long discography. So so potentially choosing a listen here would be great because you'd have a lot of selection.
I would. There's a lot of selection and a lot of good ones.
Motorhead were extremely influential. One of its most prominent being Metallica,
correct,
who is the third artist on this list.
Yes.
And
Metallica.
The Christ, dude. This is a hard decision.
Metallica is the band that got me into music.
It was the gateway.
It was. I remember listening to the Black Album. Yeah, no, but
I'm just saying. No, that was more of a good grief. What an epochal, fundamental.
I was like 12 years old.
12? No.
Serious. I was 12. No, fucking listen. So we were waiting.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I was like 12 years old or some shit, and we went to like this family holiday, and there was like a jukebox. And it was like free. So I'm like,
sweet. So you were exploring.
I'm sitting there.
Back in those days, it was hard to find music.
Correct.
It was really you had to hear older guys at school playing it on guitar or electric guitars at lunchtime.
Yeah. So I remember going through, and I don't know why, but Metallica's Enter Sandman comes up, and then the rest of the discography's there. And I don't know. I remember hearing about Metallica, and I go, oh yeah, all right, I'll play that,
That's
and I
awesome.
put the entire album.
That's sick.
On next.
No way.
I'm sitting there at this restaurant.
It was at a restaurant.
Yeah, no.
It's a fine dining experience.
Fine dining experience indeed. Here I am eating some kind of beef vindaloo, I don't know what food, but
that would have gone down pretty well with a bit of spicy tracks with some pretty hot heavy metal.
Exactly, here I am, the Unforgiven or whatever. But it was when I listened to it, it is probably one of the 3 or 5 albums that changed my life.
You'd have to be, man.
That album, I went out like probably the next week. I bought it.
What did it do in that week? Like, what did it? Did it just basically changed your brain? You would turn it 180.
Essentially, yes. I was probably listening to bands like, I don't know, 5 or whoever.
It's when your music takes a lurch into something like sophisticated.
You want to listen to something
in a way.
Yeah, exactly. You want to listen to something different. So that is where it went down, I guess. And
awesome.
From there, I mean, shit.
I didn't know that origin story. So I didn't know about you, Chili. This is a great game to get to know your friends.
Exactly.
Your friends you've known for 25 years. And
Or
failed to tell me you've seen Funkadelic and fucking Parliament and fucking Chili Peppers, and this is your origin story for Metallica.
Yeah.
I'm pissed, but we can talk about that later.
It's even good for like icebreakers from new people you don't know. Like this is a good game for anything.
True. You can just imagine you found a nice attractive lass at a party and you're gonna tell her all about how great Motorhead's third album is.
That's how you woo them over.
Oh yeah.
Bit of white line fever never helps either.
Yeah, of course.
But no. As far as this decision goes, this is incredibly difficult. I think I have come to a conclusion.
Fuck. Here he goes.
So, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Erased.
Fuck, man, that feels sacrilegious. But I thought you might go there with that.
It does feel sacrilegious, but compared to the other two,
I
do love Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Even their earlier stuff.
Yeah, I know, man. You're. I know you. This is one of the reasons I chose this for you is because I know.
Difficult one.
But I know how dedicated you are to following the Chili's earlier music. So oh man,
Catholic school was always such.
I know,
track.
and they played it
They played it live, which was great.
You couldn't have picked them live, man. You can't pick that. You can't top that Parliament experience.
That was great.
Well, had I known that, I might have picked this band. So
unfortunately,
forthright next time.
Unfortunately, Red Hot Chili Peppers is great.
Sorry, guys. It's a hard decision.
Now, I think the next two will probably be obvious to you.
Yeah. We should say we've seen Metallica live. Full disclosure.
Well, sorry,
and
yes,
it was fucking awesome.
Death Magnetic Tour.
Thankfully, they left most of that album off it.
It wasn't a bad album. I mean,
Yeah,
in hindsight, it was
wasn't
a bit
good
of a...
album.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, Hard Wired was much better.
It's like, yeah, cool. I haven't seen Metallica in my entire life. You're going to play, like, fucking...
Are you going to play Death Magnetic, or are you going to play some
Fade?
Are you going to play Fade to Black?
Yeah, I know. And they didn't disappoint. And they played I Disappear, which is fucking sweet.
Oh, they did.
We were treated very well by them that night, in contrast to the Chili's. But we didn't treat them either, so...
Yeah, exactly. But... I think you'll know this next part.
I think
Motorhead live. Now,
what? No. Whoa. No, not necessarily. Because I find the decision not to listen to be quite painful. I mean,
it is a painful decision, but purely for the fact that I had many chances to see Motorhead live, and I never did. And 5 years ago, 6 now, when Lemmy passed away.
It's been that long?
2015. Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah, Rip Lemmy, man.
Yeah,
but
man,
when he passed away,
lives on, dude.
When he passed away, I actually for about 6 months could not listen to his music.
Yeah, that's insane.
And
wow.
There was a period of 6 months or so, and I could not pull myself to listen to Motorhead, knowing the fact that I missed his last 3 or so tours, and that
that added to the pain of the experience.
Exactly, because I always thought, oh, he's Lemmy, he'll always be around. I'll see him next time.
You kind of had good reason for thinking that. But
the guy can smoke 2 packs of Marlboros a day and drink a bottle of Jack Daniels, and he's still alive. And all the meth and coke.
I know where you're going with this, Chili. This is interesting.
So I choose to see Motorhead live purely because I mean, they're in the record books for the loudest concert ever.
Sweet. Well, and not only that, I mean, you get to resurrect Lemmy, which fuck, I mean, like he's the only person other than Jesus Christ who'd ever been resurrected. If anyone's going to do it, I mean, it's either him or the devil. I mean, they're pretty much the same person.
Yes, that's very true.
Oh, wow, okay.
And of course, Metallica.
And I get... Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, in a way that's kind of rational because Metallica is likely to probably still make more music. And tour as well. So you've got... Well, you can't see them live, can you? But I mean, that's okay. We've seen them live. It was amazing.
But I mean, like obviously in that regard, you wouldn't include the fact that you had seen them live. But it would influence your decision.
It could. I mean, well, it would influence mine.
Mm.
But I mean, but ultimately, you would. I mean, the fact of you seeing Motorhead would just be would basically come full circle. So
correct.
Well, Chili, you think you fucking know a person, but then they're all guarded until you play.
Until we play live, listen, and erase.
I know. I mean,
But
so
what about
give it a go?
What about you though?
What about me?
You have to.
Oh, little old me.
But as far as Metallica, Red
Well, what do you
Chili
think?
Peppers,
What do you? Okay. Well, what do you think I'd pick?
Ooh, shit. Actually, that is hard.
Yeah.
I think in live, listen, repeat, you would go see Metallica live. You would probably have Red Hot Chili Peppers on listen, and I reckon you would erase Motorhead.
100%. You got it right, man. See, this is the thing. Excellent, man. Exactly what I was going to pick. Yeah, I think that for me, it's just the diversity of the Chili's music, and
Yes.
It's got such amazing songs. And the melody, the melody for me just would make me want to keep going back to their music.
Correct.
Live, I don't know. Like, I mean, for me, the Chili's they're amazing live, of course, but I think that they're really switched on in the studio. That's when they're tightest.
Yes,
So
they are.
and again, I don't listen to Metallica that often anymore, and would I want to see them live again? Fuck yeah, of course I would. They're amazing. They're the most amazing live musicians.
They
almost. And regrettably, I mean, my Motorhead days I think are behind me.
Yeah.
I mean, would I regret never being able to hear Overkill and those early songs again? I'd hate that. It would make me real fun.
It would definitely put you apart, I'd imagine.
I mean, it would get me right onto that white line fever. I'd be feverishly.
You'd pull in a bomber.
Yeah. Well, now you're making me regret my decision.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, this is pretty good, Shirley. I mean, we've got some hard things to talk about here. Why you're so shut off to me for 25 years, not knowing your origin stories.
Yes.
But again, it is an icebreaker. So maybe you give it a try. You can learn things about people that you never knew.
Exactly. Your friends, new friends, doesn't matter. You can play this game with everyone.
Good way to get people into new music, which might be a feature of our next.
Yes.
So clearly, these are bands with which we're each of us are familiar.
Exactly right.
So what happens when you throw spanners in the works? Well, we might get to see. Let's see.
Well, yeah, I reckon we'll come and see, and we'll probably find out in the next episode or so.
All right, sounds good, Chili. Well, it's good to be here. Let's have some beers.
Indeed.
Let's listen to some tunes.
Indeed.
Let's listen to some tunes.
Let's listen to some tunes.
All right. Well.
Now we have to decide which one are we going to do. Motorhead.
Oh so it's live, listen, or erase. Which one we're going to do? Oh well, we're just playing another game again.
Yeah.
No,
we'll go back into it.
All right, let's listen to some Motorhead and get the fuck out of here.
Oh, good one. All right, I'll catch you all later.
Laters.
Bye.